George, I'd like to talk to you today about your partnering to go the extra mile for the people in North Chatham. And we're starting off over at Vicky's barn, and you're there with Ed Gardner loading furniture onto the truck to go over to the Lord's Acre auction. I've got the easy job, I'm driving the truck. One of the things I remember is, it was kind of flattering, being asked to clerk the Lord's Acre auction sale. This is the live auction with Larry Benson, and you were there, and in addition to clerking, you handled all the money and got that turned in. And the next challenge with the church is the belfry, the bell, the leaky roof, and the deterioration up there. And so I remember that one of the first things involved was an article for the Chatham Press, which there was a picture, and you really helped write up the background for that in regard to this whole Make the Bell Well project, which went on for some time. And you were helpful in terms of the mailing information and contacts, particularly with the Historical Society, and that worked out well. And then I remember talking to you in terms of planning the meeting that we had to celebrate the completing of the bell. And I remember your appropriate comments that day. It was a Veterans Day, and actually it was a rather amazing accomplishment. The church had raised $120,000, which, considering the size of our church, is rather phenomenal. And then we go on to the Second Battle of Bunker Hill, which you partnered well with all of the people in the village of Chatham and the vicinity. And I remember a number of activities that went on, and in particular, one of the ones I was involved with was with Golden Archie, in which we visited the McDonald's headquarters in Albany there, and that was quite successful, and so we do not have a burger barn. So that was one of those activities. Now, I remember when my wife, who you appreciated for her wit and abilities, and she went through a period of time in which she had some real difficulties with her health. And one of the really good things that happened during that period of time was this letter from Robert Redford. And of course, she'd written a couple articles about the horse whisper, and apparently somebody had got a hold of those articles, and so she got this letter from Robert Redford. And it turns out, after doing some searching, that George was involved with getting this letter out. And I still have the letter, which is in our dining room, framed on the wall in the dining room there. There are a lot of other things I know you've done, George, but I'm glad to have this chance to talk to you today, and to look forward to seeing you at either physical therapy, where we see each other once in a while, or part of the church finance committee, or I'll visit you. And incidentally, I was up at Cornell this last weekend with the Dairy Bowl team, which happens about every year. And we did have a person from, actually he goes to Ichabod Crane School District, that ended up third in the competition, and so he gets to go to the Nationals, which is in Louisville, Kentucky. They take the first 4 individuals from the state. So it was great. Thought you might be interested in what's going on at Cornell. That's it.
Hey George, Jim Catlett here.
Joan.
We are delighted to have a few moments just to reminisce a little bit about the life that we and you have had in North Chatham. First of all, we'd like to talk to you a little bit about how we first met, and that was related to the New York State Thruway rest stop. You alerted us that the Thruway was thinking about putting a rest stop right on North Chatham's doorstep, and we had many discussions about the fact that that would have a deleterious effect on our beautiful village. And you went to work and really spearheaded with Jan a committee that would somehow confront the mega Thruway department and really had mapped out a way that we could win that battle. And we called it the Battle of Bunker Hill. We have fond memories of Joan making up signs and the demonstrations that we had and the parade into Albany to get news coverage to really make ourselves a big irritant to the New York State Thruway Authority.
And we won.
And we won. It was one of a really wonderful opportunity for the village to get together, confront the state of New York, and to win, which doesn't happen very often. We wanted also to reminisce about the wonderful dinners that we would have together at my house, at your house, at restaurants around the area. A great opportunity for good conversation and friendship. The other thing that we really enjoyed with both you and Jan were the wonderful Christmas parties that we had at your home. And of course, putting together the luminaries that we did every year. It really was a wonderful opportunity for the town to get together and really make Christmas a very beautiful time and for our great village.
And our children always really loved the luminaries. We would come down to the bottom of Bunker Hill, and as years went on, we went up to the Thruway. But we would come down and we would drive through town with our lights off and just see the luminaries. And it was a Christmas tradition in our house to come down to North Chatham to see the lights. So it was good. So thank you for getting that started.
Another thing, George, that you should be very proud of, which is your legacy in North Chatham, which was the trolley station. To take that old building and to refurbish it is going to be something that people from North Chatham are going to be able to enjoy for many, many years to come. So in closing, we want to wish you the very best on your new opportunity, on where you're going to be living, and we want you to know that you're always welcome at the Catlett House, and we hope to see you sometime in the future. Good luck.
Thanks, George.
My name is John Fang. This is my wife, Fran. We live here in North Chatham on Bunker Hill Road, our starter home for 45 years. I got a few things to say about George. I first met George when he took over the Christmas Eve luminaries from the Girl Scouts back in the 80s. He has always been a community-minded pillar, a person, and a pillar of the involvement in this North Chatham. From the Thruway McDonald protests, to the rehab of the depot building, to his work with the Historical Society, with his ice cream ventures, he's always been fantastic. I've always admired his athletic prowess. As I'd see him with his white hair jog past my house in all types of weather. My most recent memories are as I watched him walk at the end of the rail trail and he would stop at my picnic table to chat. We would have a cold beer and talk politics, local activities, and discuss our Army experiences in the Vietnam War. George is a very interesting person. He is well educated, well read. He is very thoughtful and has a great sense of humor. I will truly miss seeing George at the post office here in North Chatham. He's been a great asset to this hamlet and a good friend. Best of luck to him in his new endeavors, and God bless him. Take care, George.
Hey, George. We are honored to be among your friends. I remember when Dad started playing bridge with Jan, and that's how you guys ended up in our lives, and I couldn't be more grateful. And I remember one of the first things I knew about you, of course, everyone has talked about, I'm sure, is your great love of ice cream. And anything North Chatham and the Battle of Bunker Hill and the Historical Society. On the personal note, we loved having pizza with you at Labella's, and hopefully one of these days soon we'll be able to do that again. And also our outings to S&S. We just can't imagine North Chatham without him.
George, this is Jim. I'm a latecomer to the hamlet. I met you probably 2003 through Susan, but I think I knew you a lot longer than that, and hearing all the good things. You are a pillar of the community. Love just sitting around talking to you, hearing the history of North Chatham and everything you knew about Susan's family. One of my biggest memories, sitting at the dining room table, going through a little notepad.
The day calendar.
It's a day calendar. And George, you knew every name. You knew every person. You knew all the players. And you just were, you're a true gentleman. Always love being around you, and will miss, sorry about that, the regaling stories that you've told throughout my time here in North Chatham.
But we still intend to see you and hope that you'll let us come visit. And we love you.
Thank you for welcoming me into your community.